Feels good to be dooming and booming again. Even wore my, well, sort of drunk eternal shirt. Fitting, considering I am flanked on both sides by delicious cocktails of Stephanie's creation. Grg. Scrooge McDuck and Donald Duck related. Yeah, I thought they were nephews. Through non-specific relative terms. It is indeed time to rip and tear again. I'm still pretty confident that once I get past, like, really past Cultist base, is when it stops being just, like, one hit to die.
Against all the evil that hell can conjure. All the wickedness that mankind can produce. We will send unto them.
So if I can, like, reliably get past third stage,
rip and tear.
I feel like then it's just gonna be, like, maybe 1 or 2 encounters per level will be sticking points, but I feel like I'll probably be fine until, like, I feel like Arc Base is when it starts getting real bad. This is the run, yeah. You can feel it, but based off nothing. That's fine. Wait a minute. I put it at 60 hertz to try. Dang it. To try and make it so the Tony Hawk capture wouldn't be as jittery. I don't know if that actually makes a difference or not. Also, I'm excited to play Beatmania again because my monitor was set to 60 hertz last time. Why did you do that? Why? That doesn't make any sense. All right, well, hold on. Actually, let me. What is? Oh yes, what are you doing? Okay. Good old people of Walmart. That was does that still exist anymore? I don't even know. Eddie, thank you for the resub. Check the demon setting? Yeah, I will. I will absolutely check that. Oh, that'll get checked. Don't worry. Still angry about that. I'm still mad. Oh, Omega? What the hell is this desktop? My desktop is just a random slideshow of everything in my pictures folder, which is just, it's like, it's any image I thought was kind of funny in passing over the past, like, 20 years of being on the internet. That's what's in there. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I adjusted my mic settings a little bit, trying to make sure that I'm nice and crystal clear, clean, but not overblown. I think I way overdid it trying to balance loud in the past.
Against all the evil that hell can conjure. All the wickedness.
Yeah, hopefully you don't have anything weird for Twitch. I do. And that's what makes it scary. Warlish. Thanks for the sub. Real big hot dog.
Rip and tear.
You paired that with real big fish. You got yourself a meal. Thank you for the sub. I didn't kill either of them. Oh yes. I forgot to double check. Empowered demons are very much off. Oh. Dash twice by holding the input. Press requires play to press the input twice. Oh, I didn't know you could double tap to dash. Huh. I mean, I can't do it yet, but gotta wait until level 2. I think he looks cute when his head is all smushed down into his shoulders. Oh, interesting. Cody, I didn't know that. You guys talking about the Epic Games lawsuit? Netflix, Spotify, YouTube, etc. all have out-of-app purchase options. I had no idea. That's something that's been affecting Twitch as well, right? If you're on mobile, subs just cost more because you have to pay the fee associated with the payment being processed by the store. Yeah, I guess it's just if your company's big enough. Yeah, Remember not to glory kill. Yeah, to look at chat in the middle of fights. Yes, Spirit Grip. That is very much a vital strat. That's 30% a lot. Yes, absolutely yes. Like, when it comes to business, when it comes to revenue, I mean, devs have been going off and off and off about the Epic Game Store and how like 18% more revenue? That can make the difference between breaking even and not. That can make the difference between having the operating revenue to self-fund versus having to secure funding. Thought I was crazy. So mobile subs do cost more. Yes, they do. Subs through an app cost more than on desktop because the payment is processed through Google Play or Apple. And Apple, like, both providers tack on cost. They take a cut of payments processed through their service. Which I remember seeing something about how, like, Microsoft was going to prioritize Samsung devices because Samsung has their own store, and if Microsoft runs through that, they can get a better deal than the 30%, which is frankly a little absurd. 30% has kind of become the it's just kind of become the cut that platform holders take. I don't know who's standardized 30, but like Steam does 30, most stores do 30, which is a lot. My God, that's a lot of money to skim off just for being the purchasing platform. But that's also the power of being the platform is that you can set those rates. So it is actually pretty good, I think. Oh, 30% started with 90s pay-per-view movies. Ah, that's really interesting, Cody. I have to ask, Cody. You seem to come from a real place of knowledge about this subject. Have you just read up on it? Man. Have you read up a lot on it, or are you involved with the mobile ecosystem? Watermelon body count? Well, it's only one watermelon. Apple picked up the 30% from the pay-per-view with iTunes. Wow. Read up, a bit involved, but not much. Okay, Cody, cool. That's really interesting. I feel like it made a lot more sense back in the day for pay-per-view. Well, because you had to come up with a pay-per-view structure. And that required, like, partnerships with other networks. Like, I feel like you had to strike deals with the network providers, and a lot of the times you were the one producing the event. So if there's a pay-per-view boxing match, I can only assume that, like, HBO or whatever, who's doing the pay-per-view, they're also paying for the rights to use the thing. But I don't know that that's, like, Steam's not paying game developers for the rights to license their game to sell it on Steam. Game developers give their game to Steam to sell, and then Steam just takes 30% away from that, out of that transaction. Hard to imagine Vince McMahon just giving up 30% to the pay-per-view company. Yeah, I'm sure that each of those deals is negotiated, especially when you're coming from a place like WWE, where you have leverage. And yeah, knowing. Well, I guess I'm not super familiar with the way Vince McMahon does business, but I'm anecdotally familiar, and yeah, I don't imagine he would be cool with just handing over that cash. Kind of explains why some artists were hard to find on iTunes early on. Yeah. Especially when they had existing revenue models. Just giving 30% away to somebody who's just sitting there copying over files. Yeah. Michael Pachter has a really good Twitter thread today about the revenue share and its history. I'll have to check that out. Gotta see those flame gloves in action. It depends. For boxing, HBO and Showtime are the promoters in addition to the distributors, so they get a bigger cut. Okay. Yeah, he's got those spicy hands. Gotta adjust that crown a little bit. Don't want that falling off.
The first Hell Priest has been terminated. The demonic consumption of Earth has been reduced.
Orlish, thank you for gifting a sub as well.
96.8%. There are 2 hell priests remaining.
I like how Nilox is just off to the side. Yeah, what was he doing in there? I mean, he's like coordinating the invasion and conquer of Earth, but yeah, he's just chilling. Almost like he knew you were coming, so he didn't want to be like, maybe he thought you wouldn't see him. Yes, Flavortown hands. Exactly. Oh! Whoa! The man's juking me. I don't like that. It's making me nervous. Come here, come here. God damn it. Dude! If this were any other level, I think that would have killed me. Grab the wall, dude! Okay. It's not... This is already not... Okay. I think the AI will give you a break. I feel like in the first couple of rooms, I've noticed a couple of times in the first like little barge area, moments where I should have died, but it like kept me to 5 or 1 HP, or the AI was running in and it just didn't hit me. Kavero, thanks for gifting a sub. So I do think there is death protection earlier in the game, but it goes away pretty fast. I think like after this arena is when the AI will be far less generous about murdering you any chance they get. Have a good stream? Oh, thank you, Kavero. Thank you for the gift. Have a good night. I swear to God, man. Like some of those had to be headshots. Maybe not. Maybe they were just hitting the shoulder pads. I do not have a creator tag for the Epic Store, but maybe I should look into setting one up. You don't have to like qualify or be pre-approved or anything, right? You can just go make one. CCP has to personally prove you. The People's Republic has to vote on it every time. You have to submit your Twitter feed, and they have to find out if there's any, like, anti-China sentiment. If you've ever shared a Winnie the Pooh meme, all of your Epic Store revenue associated with your tag is funneled back into mainland China. They take it from you. It's theirs. It's their Monday meeting. Yeah, they go through the list. Yeah, Rick, that Pooh emote has disqualified me already. Every time you use it, they put a lien on my G Fuel millions. Take it. Okay, stop using that. Stop it. You're making the glorious People's Republic of China angry at me. Alright, I guess really the one guy. It's It's a good thing in our country we don't have somebody that gets upset by memes and then decides to ban entire social media platforms because of it. Haha! America's still landed free, baby! Oh. Oh. Oh, it hurts. Yeah, let's all make a TikTok about how free America is. That'll show them. I can send it to all of my favorite family members on WeChat. Yeah, Xi Jinping has entered the chat. Oh. What's the Forbidden American meme? There isn't one. That's kind of the idea. Not yet, anyway. I mean, like, there are things that are classless. Making fun of 9/11 is a pretty good way to get some people pissed off at you. Unless you're a, you know, an edgy internet guy, and then that's fair game, baby. I'd say the way you, like, I don't know. Yeah, there really is nothing. Which is kind of nice. I think really the worst thing is just kind of like there are things that Americans kind of refuse to acknowledge. So if you were to meme them, I think people would like either not get it or refuse to get it. God damn it! Hold on a second. Like if you made memes about our treatment of the Native Americans, I don't think anyone would, like, it just wouldn't hit because no one even thinks about or acknowledges that that's the thing that happened. So it's like we have national embarrassments and national tragedies out the wazoo. It's just most Americans choose to pretend that they never happened. Also, I like saying wazoo. Almost wildly. Oh, something else. Yeah, I'm trying to. You can't. It is actually illegal, I think, to threaten violence against the president. So if you do that, you will get lit up by some, like, intelligence agencies. I don't think that you... I don't know that you go to jail specifically for that. I actually don't know. But, yeah. I don't think... Like, that's not something that you just shrug off in the United States. I think if you do it lightheartedly, yeah, it's not illegal to say he's a fucking idiot. Yeah, no, that's really just a declarative statement. But to make an actual threat, you can't meme threats against that. I'm pretty sure that that's 100% not okay. I think they will. Yeah, if you make an actual direct threat, you're gonna have a bad time. Yeah, you'll get raided or something like that. It is illegal. I'm pretty sure.
For your support during this transition, you're suffering.
Back to Prey. Oh, Rick, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear you're playing Prey. Also, just FYI, since I have adjusted my mic, please let me know if it's like overblown, or if it's too loud, or if it's too quiet, or if it sounds weird. Do let me know. I have tried my best to, like, do recordings and then listen to them back and really try and troubleshoot in a vacuum the look and the sound of the stream, but I've learned there really is just no substitute for getting people's direct feedback, so... Sounds great? Okay, good. If I raise my voice, it might get a little crackly, but I think that's expected, you know? Hey. If there are moments of gamer heat. Senate went to recess for 23 days today? Great. It is a weird cycle to go through. I shouldn't talk about politics. I don't know. I will, I this will be a good training. I guess it doesn't matter. Oh wait, hold on a minute. Former Secret Service intern here. Statements threatening the president all get investigated by the Secret Service to the extent wildly varies. I've not heard of any cases when somebody was actually arrested for those threats, but at times certain people will be under direct supervision, even told about it when the president is by them. Some old news articles and wiki pages about it. Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that perspective. God damn it. Ugh. That jump is so awkward. You can't just hop right over here. Deal with this dick. Okay.
Forget about the future. To suffer is to be present.
Oh, game attack! Thanks to the raid. Hello, all G1s. Are we still doing that?
Because it takes a lot of hard work.
No! Man, that just all fell apart. What a silly place to die. All right. Oh, that's okay. I get to do a totally fresh run through here. Gotta click around on a couple of things. Welcome everyone. I'm playing Doom Eternal on Ultra Nightmare, which means if I die, the game starts over. You have to beat the whole game in one life. I'm not anywhere good enough to doing that yet, but I've been climbing up there. I'm doing okay.
Evil that hell can conjure, all the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them only you. Rip and tear until it is done.
Yeah. Got a recent personal best. Got to level 5.
I have located the priest signal. I will mark it on your HUD.
Yeah, Tom, I think the intro to 2016 was better. It's really hard to beat that hit of At Doom's Gate, and then the clack clack of the shotgun going right into the game opening, and Samuel Hayden basically trying to smooth things over. Him still thinking that you're a force that can be reasoned with. I don't know. Everything about that's so great. Hayden's like, look, okay, things are bad, but this isn't my fault, and now we gotta fix this. It's not quite the same, yeah. The King Nova monologue is pretty good, but the even more amped up version of At Doom's Gate doesn't really hit quite the same. I do like the shots of Doomslayer in the fortress gearing up to kill some damn demons though. That's fun. It's like a strap up sequence from Commando or something. Jesus. I'm not your friend, but we do kind of have to kill the demons now.
The first Hell Priest has been terminated. The demonic consumption of Earth has been reduced by 36.8%.
2016 story felt a bit more coherent. That's an interesting take. I don't know. There was less of it,
2 Hell Priests remain.
I think. And the fun thing about 2016 is it presented itself to be so stupid, you know? So one-dimensional, and yet it did actually have a shocking amount of lore and story behind it. Especially at the end, when they start going on about the Night Sentinels and everything. Eternal fleshes all that out pretty well. It is a little less rooted, though, to whatever degree a game about a very angry man who kills demons for eternity can be rooted. But yeah, 2016 was more in the human, or the drama aspects. The drama aspects of it were more the humankind, whereas here it's more about the space opera and the relationship between the Urdak and the Argenta and all that shit. Things that justifiably most people probably don't even really pay attention to. That's one of the things I love most about a game like this, is when it does have just wild, wild lore. But that's like, it doesn't force you into paying attention to it, so in a way it's almost like a bit of a secret if you do pay attention to it. Oh, Mecha, you back with the hot jokes? I like it. I expect they're probably still building up to some sort of conflict with Hayden. The intro 2016 feels unfulfilled to me because as soon as he started his speech in there, I couldn't wait to eventually smash the dude. Well, Hayden's not a bad guy. He's not necessarily a good guy either. He has motivations and made certain decisions. I do think it is that sort of like tech bro character of like, he did what he did because he thought it was necessary, and he literally says that. That's part of his like monologue. And then the thing that makes him a villain, or more of a villain character, is that he didn't properly weigh the human cost of his decision. You know, that again, that like tech bro aspect of advancement at all costs, even when no one really thinks about why. Like, what is the advancement for? I mean, in Hayden's case, it was energy. It was renewable energy, or enough of it that it doesn't matter if it's renewable. Oh, Bruce is rating 2. Dang. Oh, were you guys playing? Were you guys playing Apex together? Is that why there's near timing? Hayden has his own self-interest in mind. He's basically chaotic neutral. Didn't intend for everything to happen, but he isn't sorry it did. Strider, I don't know that he's self-interested. I think he's just... I think he really thought he was trying to do the right thing. Like, humanity needed power. I can't recall specifically if they lay out the state of the Earth before. They do a little bit in 2016. Like, the Earth was not in a good spot. Like global warming, and there were no more energy resources, and there were too many people, like not enough food. So he solved an energy crisis. He did. It just turned out that that energy came from demons, or really came from people. Kind of a Soylent Green thing, but... Oh no, Muscle Party's in here. Thanks for gifting 5 subs, dude. And thank you for the sub, too. Jeez. Raids and subs. Dang, it's raining on me today. Well, thanks, everybody. I am blessed. I appreciate that. Thank you for the support. I'm out here trying to beat a big, stupid, impossible video game. Yeah, I find characters like Hayden fascinating because sometimes it does push in the, in a game like Doom, you wouldn't expect there to be any kind of moral ambiguity, but it is kind of in there. And then, I mean, even in 2016, like, Hayden basically begs Doomslayer to not smash all of his equipment. But as soon as he does, Hayden's like, well, okay, you didn't need to do that, but you did. Alright, let's move on. Like, he doesn't... He did, in a sense, what the heck? What hit me? Oh! They can shoot me through the port. They can shoot me through the demon wall. That's cool. Alright, alright. And then the only reason he, like, theoretically turns on you in the end is because he knows that you're going to basically destroy all the demons, or that's what you want to do. And he's like, no, we need this. Stop it. Stop. Shit. Right? Oh, I've already... Okay.
Necessary step on the path to a brighter tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, Brett rated 2? Oh, wait. Yes! Did! Oh my god, that's 3! I'm getting tripled right now. Thank you. I've been making some fitness gains, which is to say losses, really. As usual, my my biggest hurdle has been body fat. And I feel like I've finally kind of figured out how to trim my calorie count down. I usually do about 1,500 a day. Today's a bit of an exception because Stephanie is making cocktails, but yeah, I've been down 16 pounds so far. I have another like 20 to go, but oh, Bennett Skill, first time viewer, well, welcome. This has become a bit of a mainstay on the stream, is me trying to beat Doom Eternal and Ultra Nightmare. Maybe the hardest video game thing I've ever tried to do. Ugh. I do love me a challenge. Yeah, I'm getting there. It's gonna be weird. If/when I get to like a target weight. It's gonna be weird to be a normal size. I've never been normal. I never will be normal, but mentally speaking, but I've never had just like a normal physical container. Lost 50-ish pounds since February by readjusting my diet. Something not terrible. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's it's interesting. It's one of the reasons I take so many breaks is because my diet now is just, it's a ton of like 200 to 300 calorie servings of lean protein and vegetables. When you know it, it's a great way to lose weight. But it also means I have to step away from the stream a lot. Ah, crap! Okay. Hey, Noe! Thank you for gifting a couple subs. Ow! Yeah, Cody, that's the idea. Is to make my away from stream filler entertaining enough. That people don't leave in droves. This game has 13 levels. Yeah, and they're all very long. I'd say they're all about an hour if you know what you're doing, sometimes even more. I need all... There we go. Whew, okay. I wouldn't mind getting rid of PTSD, but apparently it's lifelong. I guess that's, yeah, something that maybe you can, through treatment, minimize the effects of. Good luck with Marauders, yeah. I don't know, Marauders don't really bother me anymore, or at least they didn't the past couple times I've done Nightmare. Yeah, Cultist Base. Cultist Base is the real chunkity one. Luckily with Cultist Base, for most of the encounters, I'm starting to get to the point where I have developed repeatable techniques that really minimize the volatility of them. No, Bennett, it's okay. Not a downer at all, dude. Life is not a downer, and bad things happen in life sometimes. What super heavy do you find hardest? I'm trying to remember all the super heavies. Archvile's pretty bad. It's like the hardest ones do stuff other than just be a hard demon. It's like Archvile's summon, which, like, that by itself, adding more demons to the encounter is really bad. I don't know, the Ultra Heavies don't really bother me that much, because they usually don't throw a million of them at you. If there's an Ultra Heavy, it's usually that and maybe like two other smaller demons. Medium size, and that's not... Yeah, Snaky Boys, the Whiplash, is actually the enemy I was thinking of the most when it came to, like, just real asshole demons. It's mostly their ground swipe, homes, and it's also pretty hard to see. Pretty hard to see coming, and I think that's on purpose. And the visual translation of it makes it seem like you should jump over them. Also, look at how amazing this drink looks. You try being on 1,500 calories a day with a drink like that in front of you. Not happening. Not today. Do you remember Jill of the Jungle? Can't say I do. What is that? Yeah, this is the sangria. A little sang for my day. Today truly is a blessed day. Truly is. Well, thank you all for if you decided to hang around after the raid. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. This is gonna get even more. This run is gonna get even more wacky. Plenty more demons to shoot. Shit. I gotta remember to stop using all three as soon as I get into the room. Fuck. Dude! Ugh. Okay. I think I'm okay. Oh, man. Oh, man. I hate it when they rear back a little bit when they spit that stupid fireball at you. It makes it so your shot lands on their lip.
Is to be present.
Got stuck on a plant. Alright. There might be... Shit. Dude! No target my ass! Big swarm. Oh, okay. Yeah. Usually that first one, you can get the two like on the middle, and then the second shot goes into the caco. And then you got a whole other shot. Except if I whiff all my shots, that doesn't work. Have you tried any other classes in Final Fantasy XIV? Nah, just White Mage, really. I think I did DPS for just a little bit, but not enough to even know the class, so... I've enjoyed healing in that game so much. Can't really find a reason to do anything else. Ghosty Youngster. How far have I gotten so far? To the 5th stage. Which I'm gonna pat myself on the back for doing. That's a pretty... Getting past the first 3 levels in this game is a nightmare. 'Cause that's the difficulty. Haha. But, you don't have any health upgrades, you don't have movement, you don't have guns. You just don't have a lot of the tools that you get that fundamentally improve you. And all the enemies still do the same amount of damage. So... Are the demons fighting each other? Yeah, they do that. Classic Doom AI.
Praise!
Yeah, they'll turn on each other if you can get them to hit each other. They don't do a whole lot of damage to each other though, so you have to wait a very long time to get like demons to kill each other. It's really more for effect. Oop. Run down here so I can chainsaw you. Yes. Classic demons. Speedrun Ultra Nightmare win. Gotta beat it first. People have been doing Ultra Nightmare speedruns. There are 100% Ultra Nightmare speedruns in this game. Which, I think the record for that is around like 2.5 hours, which is absurd. I still need to watch one of those. I think it might actually help to see how they handle some specific encounters. Or what upgrades they get and in what order.
Nearby. She is inside.
Oh, thank you, Wormslayer. Yeah, I really enjoy this game.
Location on your HUD.
Do they use the ballista out of bounds? I'm not sure. I haven't watched one.
The gathering of Hell Priests is located just above your location.
I imagine some amount of out of bounds, but it's 100%.
At the center of
So you have to do all the fights. You have to get all the upgrades and stuff. No weapon swap BFG cheese? Yeah, no weapon wheel BFG. I don't know if there are any, like, largely acknowledged gameplay, like, glitches and loopholes in Doom Eternal. It seems like you really do have to be... You gotta beat it pretty honestly. Oh, there's a single run on Speedrun for Ultra Nightmare? 3 hours? Is that for 100% or just Ultra Nightmare? Oh, glitchless are under 3 hours, okay. Gotta get some lore, baby.
No man can pass through the gate. It is... This stops nothing. The sacrament of this world to the great Con Maker will be made, and the energy will be restored once again. As it is written, from the souls of the non-believers.
Doom Guy could have a bit of a bigger ass.
From them.
It's not bad, but it could be better. I'll never get tired of them like hissing like a cat to him cocking the shotgun. Yeah, he could have a little more cake. He could be caked up a little bit. I mean, he's big in every other way, and that's good. But he could his ass could be thicker.
To repent, to give service to us.
For 100%, the master upgrade quests affect the order of updates.
Resist
Ah,
the will of the
okay.
Con Maker.
Activating the portal now.
For it was you who was meant to enforce it.
You want a beer belly and ass? Yeah, I mostly just want ass. We need more ass in video games. We need more dudes. We need more dudes with dump trucks. We need more wagon dragons.
I've completed the redesign of your equipment launcher. The flame belt.
The big stompy demons have a decent amount of ass, though. I'll admit that. Ultra Nightmare Run is any percent. No one does 100% in games like these. Well, no, Captain. There were 100% Ultra Nightmare runs of 2016. Or okay, so to be specific, I do recall. Can't remember who did the 100% 2016 Nightmare run at GDQ. Dude was awesome. I can't. I'm bummed that I'm blanking on the name because he was so like such a good runner, and then also just kind of ambassador for that particular community. But he mentioned 100%. He mentioned 100% Ultra Nightmare, so that's a category at least in regards to the Doom runner scene. Dracu, was it? Okay. It was Bite Me. You're right.
And ready when you are.
Yeah, that run was great. I loved it. It's I don't know if Eternal's going to be in SGDQ coming up. I hope so. I could stand to pick up some tips. I mean, the video's right there on YouTube. I could watch it at any time. But oh, it is? Yes. What category? Hopefully it's 100%, not any. Any percents just have a lot of out of bounds glitches, which is just like, it's not really Doom. Not for me anyway. I remember being bummed when I saw the 80% for 2016 and it was just people bouncing off rails the whole time and not murdering demons with amazing efficiency. But then the 100% run definitely made up for that. Aru. Any percent, no major glitches. Okay, no major glitches. Maybe that still means in bounds. I feel like, well, no, you could still just hit level triggers. I was gonna say in Eternal, there's so many more, like, just gates, literal gates where you have to, I mean, literal, there's like Slayer gates and stuff, but that wouldn't be included in any percent. That's basically what it means. Okay, well, I look forward to it. Wow. Yeah, any percent is crouch on this rock, you're at the end of the level. Or finding ways to like slip through doors so you don't have to watch cutscenes, which there weren't many in 2016, but it would have been nice to squeak through that, like that one where you get the first Argent cell. Also, I like, oh that's right, the crystals are the Argenta form of the Argent cells from 2016. For a second I was like, when are they going to explain the lore of these crystals? And then I realized they already did. And I actually already knew it. I was on the verge of complaining about something I already knew. Oh, good stuff. I love Doom, haven't got enough cash to buy Eternal. Yeah, just give it some time. The way things are going, like, it'll be heavily discounted. Well, I guess they just had their like QuakeCon sale, but Trash Panda, thanks for the sub. I'm sure sooner or later it'll be on a service or just be ridiculously inexpensive somewhere. Actually, I don't have any Bethesda games showed up on Game Pass or anything like that. I don't think they have. Maybe around holiday. Maybe when the DLC comes out. That's usually when they like try a marketing push to get people to buy the game again. So I could see some like Game Plus Game Pass thing for $20, $30, something like that. Oh, Fallout 76. Prey is Bethesda. Yeah. Oh, and that's right. Doom 2016 was Game Pass. So yeah, given enough time, I'm sure it'll be on a service eventually. I could even see it being like when DLC 1 comes out, they put Eternal on Game Pass and then sell the season pass for the DLC. That would make a lot of sense. It's actually a pretty good way to do it. Maybe we'll get the good track on Cultist Base this time too. God, it's so fucking good. Oh, and all the Wolfensteins? Oh man. Oh baby. Play those. What? Stupid geometry. Dweezil, thank you. Yeah, I've been putting a little more time into it lately, and I'm starting to see the results of that grind. Oh wait, I don't want to go this way. By sort of memorizing where the enemies are coming from. Driz, thank you for the prime. It's wild to really get into the headspace of trying not to die, because it really does revolve around like just minimizing volatility. The unknowns are what kill you, and that sounds like so obvious a statement, but like when you die in 2 hits or 1 hit, a cacodemon warping in behind you can kill you, and that's it. That's how you die. You can die because you didn't know a cacodemon was there. So knowing all of them, how many there are and where they come from helps a lot. Because you just know that, like, okay, a cacodemon is here. I know it because one is always here, so I have to look for it, as opposed to just being a dumb idiot and assuming that everything's fine. Yeah, you can die because you didn't switch Empowered Demons off for some reason. Oh, Chalks. Wolfenstein New Order has got to be one of my favorite games. It's like, I remember when I played that, I was like, oh, well, I don't need Half-Life 3 anymore, because this game is that. Like, it's totally that experience. A cinematic, character-driven, first-person shooter. How can you forget about the spectral wolf? Doom Eternal is the coolest because it has spectral wolves and an elite race of dead warrior knights who, through dedication to their cause, still support you in the afterlife. It's got a medieval king. Yeah, or potentially you die because you're just looking at chat. I love these Flavortown gloves. August 20th, 10:17 p.m. Eastern, 7:17 p.m. Pacific. Doom on SGDQ. Hell yes. And that's a week from today.
Our wars. Despite their transgressions against the Covenant, they are still of Sentinel blood. What you interfere with now is bigger than you can imagine.
Even King Novik has an Argenta accumulator.
It is written.
The little titty bump?
Their time to give penance. If you continue, you will bring down the heavens' wrath. You are but one man. They are no longer your people to save.
Just telling you. Those cheeks could be bigger. gonna have SGDQ watch parties next week. Yeah, pretty much, Ajax. I'm gonna basically take the week off of streaming to sort of just watch SGDQ a bunch, but also focus on a bunch of other projects. I'm gonna see if I can corner Kriken's web dev man and see if I can implement some plugins for the stream that I think will make it a lot more interesting. Be the better realization of a lot of things that I had in mind when it comes to like randomized media. Make your own plugins? No, I could probably learn how to, but I think it'd just be straight up more efficient to pay someone else who's already up to date on that development to do it for me. And that way I can play video games. You, Janus, thank you. The big things I wanna work on are like making it so that alerts just point to randomized media instead of me having to make 3 million different randomized rule sets for sub alerts, so I can like use all of the gifts instead of just manually making duplicate rule sets for them. And then also to invent some sort of system where through like Twitch polls or Twitch voting, people can vote on themes of videos to watch on media tab. A little like, ah, shit. Fuck. Okay. Woo! We're fine. I did it front to back, so that's no good. Yeah, the sub sounds. Yeah, I can basically, I have that media ready. I just haven't duplicated the rules and stream elements over and over and over again. Yeah, Jort, they changed it. Falls don't kill you anymore.
It can be used to provide additional power to your ship. Several modules remain unused.
That was a big thing I was worried about playing Eternal, because in 2016, yes, if you fell, you died, and on Ultra Nightmare, if you fell off the map once, the run was over. And this game has tons more platforming in it. Eternal had a little bit. That was very clinch-worthy. A lot of puckered buttholes in 2016 jumping around, but yeah, Eternal's just on a whole other level. That's the one and only ways this game is actually nicer than 2016. It's pretty much meaner in every other possible way. Every other way. I guess the flame belch is nice to generate armor, but then again, everyone does so much more damage. And all the AI is so much more aggressive. It's so wild. I saw those gargoyles. Where'd they go? Oh! Fuck! Shit, man! What did I get stuck on? This little hump right here. God damn! Well, I'm already dead. That's one death. God damn it! That's frustrating. Okay, well that was the rune, so... This game has a rune meta system where you get, like, specific ability upgrades based on what you choose. First one I go for is the one that lets you die once. And I just died. For, getting caught on a little bump of dirt. I have dash. I should have dashed. I'm not dashing. What? That's fine. That's fine. I just won't die again. Easy. See the cloud from the lake fire? Massive pyroclastic cloud. I have no idea what you're talking about. The lake catch on fire again? God bless America. Yeah. The death save thing is gone for the rest of the run. You get... They say normally it resets on death. So you get one death, and then if you get a game over, you load from checkpoint, and then it's back on again. Except, you know, there's no checkpoints. So, you get one and that's it. That's it. Maybe it's worth getting the second chance later.
There is a Sentinel power core nearby. You can use it to activate the mech and clear a path forward.
I don't like it. I don't like using it later for the simple reason that once I get to level 2, once I get like dash, I really don't want to start the game over. This game is so much more fun with dash. And yeah, Doomslayer does not punch the shit out of the mod delivery drones anymore. Oh yeah, it's a very rainbow pulse rifle. The game has skins. You can skin your guns and you can skin your Slayer. And luckily those also replicate into the campaign, so that's one way to keep it a little fresh, if you want to call it that. Unfortunately, the skins on the demons don't apply. But it is nice to see a bit of a different Slayer now and then. Remember when Watch Mojo thought the tentacles were a major problem for Ultra Nightmare? Wait, what? If Ultra Nightmare were nothing but tentacles, I'd probably be fine. Careening through hell with a rainbow gun? Yeah. Opening demonic gates to a vista of like a hell fortress. Channeling demonic energy into the sky. Doom Eternal rules. I didn't think the other... This little asshole was gonna aggro. Actually, that's not so bad if he stays under there. This is on Earth. No, this is in Hell. Level 1's on Earth. Level 2 is on Exultia, which is another planet. And then Hell, which is in, like, it's between dimensions, basically. If you have any questions about Doom lore, let me know. And I will be glad to assist. A lot of ins and outs here. Crap. Okay. How did the giant robots end up in Hell? Ah, the giant robots are from an ancient race called the Argenta, and they invaded Hell for a while. It didn't go so well. But you see the results of their failed invasion around, which is these abandoned battle mechs that they use. I can get a little confusing because humankind also has battle mechs that you see on Earth, but they're different. These are kind of more similar in design to what you see from the Doomslayer's armor. It's the plating, it's these like little metal bumps. The ones on Earth look more like kind of boxy, kind of Gundam-y robots. So... there's that lore. Yeah, the human ones look very mech warrior for sure. Yes. There's a whole backstory. Hold on, I gotta concentrate for a little bit. There's a whole backstory between the Argenta and the demons and how that all went down. I need to find something to chainsaw like now. Where are you? Hey, asshole, come back. Okay, I did pick up most of it. Sometimes if you chainsaw, then, especially on the edge, like all the armor can just fall off and you don't get it. Fuck. Shit. Oh. Shit. Fuck! Ooh. So if demons are the tortured remnants of evil people, how are arachno demons made? they do go into detail about how some demons are made. The Revenants specifically, I recall being like, they have to weld the rocket pods onto them while they're alive, so that their brains can like route to the rockets and learn how to control them, which is just, you know, horrifically torturous. Yeah, I think humankind made the Arachnotrons. There's a couple of examples of humans experimenting with demon physiology and then cramming robot parts into them, and then the demons break out and go back into hell, and then they like replicate there. Let's see here. Let's find out. I can't remember if the Arachnotrons have specifics. Let's see here. Let's find out. Genetic material recovered from the remnants of the original Spider Mastermind, the last boss of Doom 2016. Bioengineered for cyber augmentation, which is the best phrase, because there's two hyphens in it. While its actual body exhibits only limited mobility, the oddly cerebral qualities of the Arachnotron make it the prime candidate for the impulse-controlled prosthetic frame that it now permanently inhabits. The UAC facility responsible for the Arachnotron's creation, intending to engineer and weaponize demons of their own design, was overrun after an outbreak occurred inside its assembly plant, killing everyone inside. The facility, still operating under the directive of the administrative AI, continues to manufacture the Arachnotrons autonomously. So, whoops. Whoopsie. I remember the, like, I can't remember which, I think it was 2016, with the Spectre, the, like, invisible pinky. It was like, they experimented on a pinky, they made it turn invisible, it got out because it's invisible, and then it found its way back to hell and procreated. And they were like, shit! Alright, now we have invisible ones, because the one you made got out. Yeah, there's a long legacy in Doom lore of the UAC, and that's kind of going back to Samuel Hayden's kind of motivation as a character. It's just not knowing where the boundaries are, and thinking that you can control things that are well outside of your reckoning or understanding. That's kind of the thing, is like, Hayden is like all good tech bros, inherently convinced that he can control something that's kind of beyond his understanding. So the UAC keeps trying to make demons work for us. And it's like, they don't do that. Oops. Invisible Pinky escaped and got to fucking like a rabbit, yeah. How has the UAC not been sued yet? I mean, if you want to draw real world parallels, how is Facebook allowed to keep operating after some of the shit they've pulled? Once you're a big enough corporation, you can get away with a lot in the world. I don't think, like, Doom lore doesn't have much of a political agenda, really, but some of the things do parallel some modern problems to an amusing degree, especially for a game like Doom, you know? Yeah, energy crisis. Yeah. I mean the energy crisis. What is that challenge for? Oh, 5 burning demons while in here. Okay, easy. Hell is corrupting. That's true. The UAC also was taken over by demonic forces and literally became a cult. So there's that. Is there any humanity that still exists, or are they all dead? They're mostly dead. There's some lore in Eternal about how, like, the few people who are left are kind of losing their grip on reality because there's a demon invasion that basically destroyed their entire civilization. So there's a few people who are left that are part of the ARC, like Armed Response Coalition or whatever, which is basically a conglomeration of nations that came together to try to defend Earth once the demonic invasion went full tilt. But the rest of the people are kind of just like huddled up into enclaves, and they're getting like deeply superstitious and deeply religious and fanatical. I think most people at this point are like we're inventing and worshiping gods to try and prevent this from happening, because... And then the Doomslayer has taken on a mythical status because he's going around and murdering demons, which is pretty cool. So you have like... And then you'll hit these like these broadcasts from the UAC being like, the Doomslayer doesn't exist, he's just a figment of your imagination. Just lay down and let the demons do what they want. The Doomslayer became pretty much a prophet. Well, prophets usually have a prophecy. Like, prophets usually tell something about the future. I think it's more like he's become this notorious and half-believed figure. Flork? Are the remaining humans organized? Some of them are. Samuel Hayden was kind of organizing and leading the last armed human resistance, but that's not going very well either. You sort of drop in on the the last human base as it's getting invaded in this game, and then you take their BFG because you want it. It's like, they're not going to use it. I mean, they were using it, but not like you wanted to. Which is specifically to blow a hole in the side of Mars. Shit! Oh, fuck. That might actually kill me. That might actually kill me. Fuck. Oh, okay. I think okay. Whew. What happens when you kill the icon of sin? Does the invasion stop? There's still demons everywhere. But it's that I think severs the line of immortality for the faction that is coordinating the invasion. So it's like, it's kind of the most important thing to happen at that point, but killing the icon of okay. God, I feel like I'm always one step away from dying. I guess that's a nightmare for you. Yeah, they killed his bunny. And destroyed his race, but... Can the icon of sin come back? Potentially? That was weird. Oh yeah, Johnny. Doomslayer could beat Master Chief any day of the week. Absolutely any day. I mean, if you stack them up by lore or by, like, their abilities in game, Doomslayer's got it any which way. Doomslayer can hold more than 2 guns, so that helps. He's faster, stronger, bigger ass. I don't really know that there's any comparison. I don't know, Doomslayer's kind of ridiculous. Can Doomslayer be my friend? Doomslayer's nobody's friend, which means he's everybody's friend. Can Doomslayer die lore-wise? That's a really good question. And one that hasn't really been answered. I mean, if they just straight out say he's immortal, that would kind of take away from the mystique, I think. But there's definitely, it's been hinted that because of his Argent accumulator and the suit that he has, he actually absorbs the life energy of all the demons he murders. So, there was like some tipping point when he was abandoned in hell and murdering demons for millennia that like he became strong enough to sort of self-subsist. And so the more demons he murders, the stronger he gets. And he can already murder every demon. So, kind of the lore is as long as he's good enough to stay alive, which by analog means are you a good enough player to control him properly? He's literally a demigod. That's the implication, is that, yeah, he has received some explicit divine power, but they're a little fuzzy on exactly the mechanics of what that is, which I'm okay with. There's kind of very intentional holes put in the lore to keep some mysticism there, and to keep some element of not knowing exactly literally what's going on. Yeah, Doomslayer's not immortal, 8. I don't think they ever straight up said that, but he was granted, what was the phrase? Like, speed and power. Is King Novik God? No. Does the Heaven Dimension have a leader? Nobody knows. You mean, Urdak? Well, it does have a leader, actually. I take that back. It definitely has a leader. And, I mean, you interact with that. Yeah, they create a Con Maker. Yes, the angels, such as they are kind of a distributed consciousness, and they do have a singular kind of focal point of their thinking, kind of similar to the demons. Demons are also a sort of distributed consciousness where they talk about a Dark Lord and demon generals, but they're even fuzzier about the hierarchy of the demons than they are of the Urdak / the angels. Yeah, the angels are not the angels of the Bible, exactly lobotomized. So Doom kind of takes the tack of like some things are kind of similar to biblical lore, but in the sense of, okay, maybe if these things happened 3,000 years ago, this is what a religious text might have said to interpret those events. Yeah. They're another alien civilization. That is correct, yeah. One of those, like, a civilization with sufficiently advanced technology would seem like gods or like magic, you know, one of those deals. Who knows what the fuck when it comes to the Dark Lord? Yeah, it's only mentioned like once or twice. And who knows, the Dark Lord might be Vega, the father. Who can say? There's a lot of fuzziness about that. Wouldn't that be ironic? After all of this, and like everything you do sort of evolving Vega and giving him the opportunity to learn and understand, he becomes the Dark Lord? I don't know. Why didn't that guy attack you? Shit, I should have laid out the lore, or I should have let that cutscene play out. This is the Betrayer, who was mentioned in the lore of 2016, very passingly, but there's a whole melodramatic circumstance about how the Argenta, who's this race, got overthrown by the demons and betrayed. The Betrayer was pretty instrumental to that. Basically, the demons corrupted his son. They said that they'd give it back, his son back, if he basically like corrupted one of their oh boy, this is getting out there. So oh gosh, so there's a whole narrative that played out around the Argenta and how their civilization fell thousands of years ago, and the Doomslayer was there for that too, which is something they make a lot more explicit in Eternal, because you have literal flashbacks, which is nice. In 2016 it was kind of weird to have the Doomslayer be referenced in like these like tomes and not ever be like fully confirmed that that's him.
Mark its location on your HUD.
So the Argenta had these like priests. Oh man, okay. How far back to go? So there was the Argenta race, and they were kind of like cavemen level, like just sort of figuring out tools, and then a spike, like a spear from space, shot into their planet, like bang, and then all of these magical shits started pouring out of this weird fucking thing from space. Among those entities were something called the Wraiths, and the Wraiths are these big, like Cthulhu-esque beings of almost pure horrific magic. Just them being around makes shit go weird. And there was something called like Wraithfall or something like that, where just like blistering waves of magical energy started fucking everything up. But like the arrival of this magic also sort of awakened people's intelligence and sort of skipped them up a little bit on the evolutionary scale. So they learned how to domesticate animals, they learned how to farm, they learned how to like build shelters. So they basically like leaped up into the medieval ages pretty quickly. And as part of the process of that, they learned how to sort of manipulate this like magic shit that came from space, riding on some giant spear that shot itself through the planet, like actually speared it like a cherry, like a toothpick through a cherry. Like the Protoss, I guess. I actually am not super familiar with deep Protoss lore. Okay. So as part of the process of harnessing this magic, they developed these priests that could like shield their cities from the Wraith Call or the like Wraithfall. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but basically they had these priests like working these magical barriers to make it so their cities wouldn't just get exploded by random outbursts of magic. All right, so that's the idea. And then they got visited by the Urdak, and then Doomslayer showed up and introduced them to the demons. These are all pretty important beats. The Betrayer specifically corrupted one of the priests that was shielding their city so that the demons could invade. And he did that in exchange to save his son, who was corrupted by the demons, and later became the Icon of Sin. But he gives you the... anyway, I gotta stop talking. He gives you the dagger that you use to kill the icon, or rather, the heart of the icon. Oh wait, no, he gives you the dagger you use to like kill the control over the icon, something like that. A little fuzzy on it right now, but This can be a hard fight, a run ender, they say. So I will attempt to. I'm gonna try to. Shit. Okay. Where is... That could have been better, but I think I already killed everything, so... Oh, okay. Yeah, it's heavy metal album concept for sure. This is the sort of thing that would be told in like 3 albums by Coheed and Cambria or something. To what extent do you feel Doom incorporates Lovecraftian storytelling motifs in its lore? I'm not a big expert on Lovecraftian, so I couldn't say. The elements that I see there are that the Urdak kind of look like Cthulhu monsters. They're like kind of floating octopus dudes with all sorts of like tentacles and things. And to the extent that like a lot of the forces at play in Doom are ethereal and drive you insane. So like, let me make sure I got all the upgrades that I need. It's on a map, right? Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, we're good. So merely being around Argent energy in 2016 started to make people like go insane because it was demonic energy and it corrupted Olivia Pierce and a lot of the members of the UAC. Yeah, the cultists and shit. So that's kind of it. That's kind of, I think, the connection is just merely being around it. It's like an impossibly ancient thing that is beyond the reckoning of most mortal humans, and just being around it will mess you up. All right, bathroom break. I will be back in just a moment. Do you enjoy online multiplayer games anymore? Yeah, I do, but Zoloft, the older you get, they lose their appeal. I contribute that to the older you get and the more games become a source of stress relief versus a source of accomplishment. Like when you're working all day. And if it's a job you enjoy and you feel challenged by it, then your sense of accomplishment comes from putting in a hard day's work and coming home. And then when you come home, necessarily the last thing you want is to be challenged again, especially when the tables are not necessarily fair. So you go to work all day and you deal with that challenge, or you deal with like selling egg rolls to people or whatever. And then you come home. You don't necessarily want somebody who's been playing Halo for the last 12 hours to crack you in the back of the skull with a gun. So I can see that. The stresses of adulthood, and I think also the less time you're able to invest in a game and feel accomplished and mastered at it. Multiplayer games, I think, take some time to be good enough to own and feel good about winning, but also to really understand and not get frustrated at losing. I think, and it's just, to me, it's a time disparity and also a mental attitude thing. I think sometimes as an adult, at the end of the day, the last thing you want to do is lose 4 times in a row. Whereas if you have like the whole day off, 4 losses might be aggravating, but it doesn't throw your whole mood off. Okay, I'll be back in just a second. See you guys soon. All right. Oh, no. Hold to continue. God of High School? I've been watching through Stardust Crusaders and JoJo's. It's a fun ride.
You can now find the remaining Hell Priests by activating your Celestial Locator.
Gotta find the remaining Hell Priests. I haven't seen Made in Abyss, no. Ooh. Lovecraft, our pseudo dream quest of unknown Kadath, or like the civilization from at the Mountains of Madness. Definitely got some Lovecraft tones. The one issue being Lovecraft rarely did anything vaguely alluding to heaven and hell. Oh, okay.
You will be able to access the entire ship.
I would say the Argenta stuff is probably the most Lovecraftian in that this random thing showed up on their planet and like unlocked the door to all of this unknowable, beyond your control and understanding stuff. Not quite crack in the ocean floor kind of thing, but yeah, spike from space.
Sentinel energy levels rising, re-establishing power to core and supplementary systems. The ice bomb modification to your equipment launcher has been
Golden Kamui.
once fired.
What's the pitch for that one? I want to hear where you think the third one will go.
Fire either ice bombs or frag grenades.
It's so hard to say. I mean, the thing that I love so much about the lore of Doom is that it's just so absurd. It's absurd, but it's also still kind of connected, and it provides just enough beats to keep you interested and give you something to think about a little bit. As far as where it's going to go, there's a lot of places, really. They've even put significant gaps in Doomslayer's past that they could lean into pretty hard. You could make pretty easy, content around Doomslayer being trapped in Demonland post Doom 64. You could make content of Doomslayer on Argenta, bouncing around with a Night Sentinel, killing demons. You could make content around the invasion of Argenta. You could make content around the fall of Argenta. You could make content around, like, even between 2016 and Eternal. Like, they still didn't explain how he got the Doom Fortress. So there's, like, I don't know, there's tons of interesting gaps that they could either create content in or just completely leave. Doomslayer time travels. Yeah, that's the weird thing. And the thing that they didn't really lock together, not that they really have to, but that there was a UAC in Doom 1, 2, and 64, and then Doomslayer is trapped in hell forever. Somehow is found by the Argenta, is brought to Argenta in their like raids of hell, stays there for thousands of years. Raids hell again, is trapped again in a sarcophagus, and then is found again by the UAC millennia after that. So it's like there's got to be time travel or alternate dimensions or something. Con Maker controls the angels and is using the demons to create Argent energy in order to keep her dimension alive, as their god is missing. Yeah, and there's also, I think, some political angle to that too. I'm pretty sure the current Con Maker has. Wait, no, there's a reason. Oh yeah, it's because you destroyed the accumulator in 2016. I'm pretty sure. Cut off the flow of Argent energy to Urdak, which prevented them from reincarnating the Con Maker. Doom 3 really feels like it's in a Doom AU. I mean, it might be. Doom 3 was a reboot unto itself. So, there were like fan theories going into Eternal that this Doomslayer is canon the same one from all other Dooms, which ended up being partly true. I think it's as stupid now as it was then as an idea, but hey man, it's Doom. Stupid is kind of what it exists on. Sober Librarian, thanks for extending your sub. That's a long extension, thank you. I thought Doom 3 was the first in the timeline? No. Doom 3 is a side game. It's a different Marine, different UAC, even though nearly all of it's identical. Is Doom 3 even canon? I mean, it's canon to itself. Canon is such a fuzzy idea when it comes to something like Doom. Eternal is the game that has cared the most about canon, which is the only reason it's even being talked about. But yeah, the way that Eternal lays it out is that 1, 2, 64, Doom 2016, and then Eternal is the chronological canon of the games. And it's the same Doom Marine, Doom Slayer, Doom guy through them all. The current Con has lived indefinitely because that cycle is broken, but it was Vega being stolen that caused that, if I recall. Huh. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I can't recall specifically. Well, when we get to that level, 8 hours from now, I'll read that lore and we'll get all caught up. Hey, Gamonra! Hey, it's good to see you. So much lightning and thunder right now. Ooh. I would rather the horrible, hot, clammy humidity from the other night. I hate the British weather. How do you people deal with hot weather? Oh my gosh, I just want to complain. A fan, that's it, and ice water. Sober Librarian, thanks for gifting 5 more subs though. That's a nice little plop there. That's the Doom movie part of the lore. Man, I wish. It wouldn't be hard for them to just connect everything, because Doom lore is silly. Vega being stolen cut the Hive network and kept Con Maker from being transferred to the new Con. So, but when did that happen? Because you remove Vega at the end of 2016 and cram him in your Doomslayer suit. Is that what that was? When you remove him in 2016? Is that the stealing of Vega? Because I guess at that point then Urdak is already involved. Yeah, maybe. I guess that adds up. That means that Vega was connected to Urdak before ostensibly being created by the UAC. At the time, it was the father. That's the parts of the lore that I'm a little iffy on and could potentially not be so cool, given how much I like Samuel Hayden's character from 2016. Is that a lot of the Urdak stuff may have been tied into the rise of the UAC more than just Hayden doing everything himself, which could also, you know, it implies a lot about where he got his robo suit from, even though the lore was pretty explicit that he built it himself. Maybe, yeah, they're kind of leaning into Hayden being the reincarnation of Samur, a seraphim with questionable allegiances, but seems to be a good guy. The Seraphim stole the father after he let the Slayer in the Divinity Machine. Okay, Tony, so then what that implies is that Samur juiced up Doomslayer, stole the father, and then somehow thousands of years later came back as Samuel Hayden with Vega. But explaining that time gap, or the fact that Samuel Hayden has a pretty extensive and grounded backstory as a human person, is a little weird. It also doesn't quite add up why... Like, Hayden is he may be lying, but he's pretty, like... He doesn't seem to know that much about Doomslayer at the beginning of 2016. And yeah, I think it would take a fair amount of you'd have to be a pretty heavy apologist, I think, to be okay with that. Unless Hayden forgot that he was Samur, which, whatever. That's not a big deal, then. It's one of those deals, like, it doesn't have to lock together perfectly for me to like it, but it does, I think it does rob Hayden of some of his character complexity if suddenly he's a reincarnation of some god or whatever. I'm not so into that. But whatever, I'll get over it. Maybe Hayden made a deal with the Seraphim in order to save his life and get the body. Okay. I could see that. And I think that's actually a pretty good way to think about it, I think. Because I think that also leans into his, like, no sacrifice too great to get the job done kind of deal. I'm more, like, for me, I'm more like, I don't want every character in the game to have, like, this cosmic meaning. I liked the idea that Vega was just a helpful AI. I liked the idea that Samuel Hayden was like a tech bro gone too far. And then to do that like Star Wars thing of like, no, they were all actually space royalty. I'm like, alright. Yeah, whatever. Oh, sorry, the golden bitch. Soldier from a Russo-Japanese war is trying to get gold to pay for his dead friend's wife. What? Why would he need to pay for his just to take care of her? Meets a criminal who was part of a group. They all got a part of a map tattooed onto them in prison that basically leads to Nazi gold. Warrior Mean meets an Ainu girl, native people, and she's connected to it all because the leader of tattoo stuff was her dad. She's the one that could read the map. It's a fun manga. Sorry, chat. Oh, is it like an adventure story? For sure, Hayden is a perfect representation of humanity and the loss of it in seeking power. Yeah, yeah. I still am more attached to the image of him being like a representation of you know, the Oppenheimer of like, at what cost science gone too far. Like progress isn't progress for progress's sake is sometimes not a goal unto itself. Sometimes you got to ask why. And he's so true to that character too, which is great. I love that all through 2016. Like 2016 leads pretty hard into like
Let's see if you're strong.
fatalistic corporate humor. Like shades of Borderlands kind of. Like the UAC is horrifically monstrous organization that is very obviously like a front for demonic stuff, and I think that there's some amusing
personnel, please be advised.
Parallels there. Some like also like Outer Worlds kind of styling. No. That's what I don't understand. Yeah, if he is the Seraphim, why would he be messing with hell energy on Mars? There's a lot of things that don't quite add up. If he is the reincarnation of Samur and remembers everything Samur should remember, the way that you retcon stuff like that is to be like, oh, reincarnation process, something. It takes some time to remember who you are. And there was a moment where I recalled who I was and what I was here to do, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. There's a way to connect those wires. It's just a little awkward, like, and very clearly retconned if that is what they're going for. But who knows? Who knows? I've been impressed with the handling of the lore in Doom so far, which is weird to say considering I did not expect there to be any. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not going to get too uppity about the lore because there's so much more than I expected, and it's actually shockingly good. That if they have to pull some like tropey stuff out, I won't lose any sleep over it. Lore is important though. Lore is why we do it. Lore is what keeps the lights on in this streamer household. Or alternatively, Samur and Hayden are actually different people in the same body, and Samur is slowly asserting more control. Sure. Yeah, you know what? I'll take that. Sure, why not? Watch porn from lore. Hey, sometimes a little lore can really click it all in, man. It's not so much they're in a gas station bathroom, but why are they in a gas station bathroom? Because they couldn't afford to film anywhere else. The Bang Bus was being borrowed that day. I don't get the obsession with step-sibling lore complications. It just seems to be where it's at right now. Maybe all the anime dweebs finally got their way. I guess what I wonder anime really does sort of predict where I guess Western kink will go. Maybe. Anime sure did lean into the stepsister and stepbrother thing, and now it's everywhere. So what's next? Monster Girls? We're gonna have full-on Monster Girls on Pornhub? Still in love with Bloodborne lore. I need to play Bloodborne again, just so I can lean on chat to explain all the lore to me as I play, because I feel like that would be the most amazing way to play that game. That's one of the things I appreciate most, is just getting to absorb the collective knowledge of the internet. It's like a director's commentary. Oh, I smell French fries on the wind. I wondered temporarily if Steph got back from her exercise with like a bag of fast food. That'd be how to do it. Yes, coat me in lore. Spread it. Spread it like butter. God damn it. I didn't think that was going to be so fast. Alright. I still have 3 fuel. Okay. How many runs tonight? I've died once, and it was way early on. So this is what I would consider like the first real run. I'm getting to the point in Eternal where like each run is taking a significant amount of time, and I'm getting decently into the game. So this is feeling a lot better than it was like a few weeks ago. Is that Doomslayer's ship in the background? No, that is not the Doom Fortress. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna be real. I don't know what that is. It kind of looks like... It doesn't even look like an Urdak ship. I wondered about that. I looked at that a couple of times ago of playing this. I'm like, what is that? Yeah, what's the lore of this thing? I don't know. Yeah, it looks like UAC tech, but UAC wasn't really in the position of building like spaceships. They weren't really that advanced. Yeah, Destiny 3's up there. It looks like a Destiny ship. That's my 96 Mustang. That's my 2001 Tercel. I don't even know if they made him in that year, but... That's a strange thing the lore kind of ignores. The lore... One of the other things I actually do really appreciate about Eternal, or Doom's lore in general, is that it very obviously ignores some very important things. Like, it's not even shy about just not commenting on some things. Like, it'll put something way in the foreground and be like, look at this. Alright, what was that? Who knows? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. Who could be anything? There's almost a playfulness in the way that they tease certain lore elements. I think it's because there's so much about the game where it acknowledges that the lore is really not why you're playing, so why does it matter if they tease it out? Because, hey, guess what? Here's another room full of demons for you to go explode. I love it. I love it so much. Horatio Outside, thanks for the resub. Here's to many more. I like that. I'm looking forward to more sick runs. All right. Yeah, I guess I'll go Rocket. Deal with this. The best lore leaves gaps for you to try and fill it out yourself and gets you invested. That's exactly what they do. I think they very intentionally leave holes for you to guess about, and then with the next game or whatever, they answer some of those and then completely add new holes or just open other ones wider up. I really appreciated, like, 2016, all the holes were about the Argenta and Doomslayer's past and how all that went down. And that was kind of at the tail end of the game when they started really laying out the role of the Night Sentinels and stuff like that. And then Eternal went back and like literally told you the whole story, most of it, but then added a bunch of new question marks with the Urdak. So it was super, super cool the way that they architected it. Okay, so it's like 2 rockets and then a little bit more. That's another thing that I think will help me out a lot, is is really drilling down and knowing exactly what weapon, what like ammo combos will kill which demons. It's really nice to be able to just shoot a demon a specific number of times and know that they'll be dead. Alright. Trying to stack 3 fuel for the boom boom room. That's what I call it. It's got another more M-rated name. I think the fuck pit. Wellesley, the 2 newer Dooms do relate to older Dooms, but not in a substantial way at all. If someone's just getting into Doom, would you tell them to play 2016 or skip it? No, you should play 2016. If anything, 2016 is kind of a really good warm-up for Eternal, gameplay-wise. I feel like 2016 is important to sort of establish the tone and kind of get you ready. And then Eternal really dials it up. Really dials it up. There's a max armor. I don't need it. This section coming up is pretty easy to max out on armor. There's like a hallway with a bunch of dudes you can light on fire. I keep starting and bouncing off 2016. Too much red. So Marsy. Yeah, it's red on Mars. It's red in Hell. It's not until like the third to last level that things are blue. But yeah, that was a pretty common complaint of 2016, is that the environments were too similar and that the gameplay didn't vary enough, which I think they certainly fixed or addressed directly with Eternal. Yeah, then white, then a little bit of green. What was the 2016 blue level? The one where you go to the Vega core. Everything's frozen because they need like hyper cooling to run that AI. And then the interior is also pretty like blue and sleek. Yeah, easy level to forget about, even though it has one of the most, like aside from BFG Division, Vega core is one of the most outrageous tracks in 2016's soundtrack. Didn't people complain about Quake because it was too brown? Yeah, brown and green. The problem wasn't even just Quake being brown and green, it's that after Quake, everything was brown and green. I owe that partially to like early 3D graphics being not great, but yeah, a lot of games made in early 3D PC tech were brown and green and dark because I think it made it not look so bad. Made it look grungy instead of just pixelated. But then again, grunge was also just sort of, I mean, that was the music that was popular. It was just sort of in the zeitgeist of things being mucky. Dudes with ratty hair and shitty beards. Yeah, Color of Money is where Doom came from. Not to mention that after, like, Doom, id Software picked up this fun trend of having all their big games be monosyllabic titles. I guess Rage, Quake, Doom. I guess Brink, not technically id Software, but that's a good point. Child Croat. That's not something I necessarily give. Oh, the robot's pushing me around. Hey, buddy. Not something I give Halo a lot of credit for, but it was a very colorful game. It was very saturated. When a lot of shooters were trying to be as like grungy as they could be.
Dear to me, my brothers and sisters, but he is weak. Your hate must match his will. Only then will you be truly saved.
Shit. Didn't get it. Fuck. Bad. No, there. Shit, he blew up. Okay. There we go. Oh, he's down. Okay. Shit! Oh, man, that guy gets me every time. Fuck. Hero Whiplash. Okay. That's what I needed. There we go. Fuck! Ugh. Okay, so 3 rockets. Get on the jump pad! God damn it! Man. It's so annoying when little things like that kill you. But that's part of it. It's just not getting stuck on dumb shit. I die so much to just getting stuck on geometry. That's really aggravating. Okay.
Against all the evil that hell can conjure.
Yeah, I should play Subnautica. William, there's 3,000, 1 million billion video games I want to play. I really do want to play Subnautica, but meh. So,
until it is done.
I swear, 3 rocket hits will kill an Arachnotron. It's just like if one misses for whatever dumbass reason. And that can, man, there's so many weird little things that can go wrong. Alright, hold on, let me bring up some Doom lighting back here. Need to jump for more doots. I mean, I appreciate the sentiment. The problem is, jumping is actually a bit of a problem. Jumping can potentially open you up to more line-of-sight attacks. Sometimes, and also, when you're in the air, you do not recover your dash. How did the moon get blown up? I don't know that they really go through that. That's just a thing that happens. Gonna play Witcher 3 later? Probably not. Not today. Let's see. Today, if depending on how this run goes, I'll probably play some Final Fantasy 14 until my boys get online. I think Jacob wanted to play some, or I think Jacob was down with playing some Destiny later. I would like to play Destiny with Jacob.
Has been terminated. The demonic consumption of Earth has been reduced.
Gonna play Hypnospace Outlaw? I still have it installed. It's one of the...
There are 2 Hell Priests remaining.
One of the 8 million games that I really want to play. What's your decision to glory kill or not? Oh, it's a pretty complicated one, actually. So you're right. You do get infinity frames. You do get invincibility frames while you're glory killing. But the second you come out of a glory kill, you are not invincible anymore. And that's bad. Because the AI will attack you, and specifically the position is the worst thing. Is they'll just get behind you while you're glory killing. But you can come out of a glory kill into a bullet or into a melee, and then either die or just take an ass load of damage. So there is value to glory killing because of the iframes. It's like, it's a chance for me to, like, if I'm playing well and not looking at chat. It's actually when I look at my ammo, my health, my cooldowns, and see where I'm at, see what tools I've got. And that's when you start to plot out your next set of moves. So it's like, okay, my freeze grenade's up, and I have chainsaw fuel. So I'll freeze this guy and then chainsaw the next one. You can also kind of see enemies running around in the periphery while you're glory killing, which can help you sort of scout a little bit and do so in a safe way. But yeah, I won't lie. Sometimes I use glory kills just to get a second to breathe. Some of the harder fights, it's all you get. sometimes it's also nice if you're like using a dangerous weapon, if you have like a rocket launcher equipped, it can be nice to glory kill, because then like you don't have to switch guns, which can take time and make you vulnerable. Quite faster glory kills is a decent upgrade. It is. It's pretty good. I usually just try to stick with things that enhance my survivability, namely the death rune and then the slow-mo rune, specifically to get through the one square room where they drop two mancubuses on you in very close proximity. Why does Doomslayer kill the humans? He doesn't. He just never does anything to save them either. Doomslayer's pretty morally ambiguous. He's not necessarily a hero. He just really wants to kill all the demons. So he doesn't go out of his way to protect humans, especially if there's demon killing to be done. They do imply that he does care about saving humans. The King Novik line of like, you can't save them or whatever. They're not your people to save anymore, something like that. Even the betrayer is like, our people had to pay their penance. Now it's your turn, kind of thing, which I think leans into the notion that the Urdak have been going around harvesting and manipulating all kinds of races for a long time. Which is kind of neat. Kind of a sci-fi trope. The idea of a cycle, like this has happened before.
Is a necessary step on the path to a brighter tomorrow.
I figured the health you get for that mitigates that. Oh god, no. No, it does not. Being in a better position is always better than having like 30 health. Because if you're in a bad position, you can die. Instantly. Nearly instantly. On Ultra Nightmare. What happened to Hollow Lady? Her?
Can now reach its full potential.
She seems to be doing alright. Jessica and HR are still there, so that's good. Kind of a storytelling trope? Yeah. The Matrix did it. Mass Effect did it. It's fine. They didn't lean into that super hard though. I think a Codex entry they do talk about the Urdak being one in a line of civilizations that call themselves equivalent of angels, coming down and being worshipped for uplifting a race. Oh. Well, let's get some more. Let's get some more in here. Usually when you start adding other races in a game like this, it's just so you can palette swap the enemies. Kind of like Halo. It's like they got Covenant, they got Flood, and now they got Protheans. No. Presbyterians. I don't know, whatever. Mass Effect did it too. Like, we got the aliens, but now there's humans and they're bad too, so now you have missions where you have to kill 1,300 guys with guns! Whoa! Cerberus. Yeah, that was it. How, like, suddenly Cerberus has 20,000 nameless troops all wearing helmets. Oh, Taken and Destiny? Yeah, yep. They're elves, but not... Protheans, alright. Mass Effect. So yeah, like I would say, rough math, a glory kill can maybe erase one hit, and especially at the beginning of the campaign, 2 hits can kill you. So, let's say that you've just glory killed somebody, there's some health sitting under you, you might be able to regen one hit that you take, but you might take 2, just right off the bat. Wasn't Prothean the name of Jeremy Irons' character in the D&D movie? Man. Well, thank you for bringing up the D&D movie. I watched the director's commentary, and it was something else, man. If you got the chance, if you ever get Dungeons & Dragons on DVD, starring Jeremy Irons and one of the Wayans, I think, make sure to check out the director's commentary. Oh, I did a flip. No, In the Name of the King, A Dungeon Siege Tale is the Jason Statham movie. Another project entirely. Dungeons and Dragons, the hit 2004 film, was pretty great, because in the director's commentary, the director kind of made it pretty clear that he thought that his vision was sabotaged by, like, producers or editors. And he talks about all these deleted scenes that if they were in there would have made so much difference. And I'm like, nah, dog. No, it's still bad. I appreciate that you have a vision, though. The one with Ray Liotta's batshit crazy? Yeah, that's In the Name of the King, A Dungeon Siege Tale. Directed by cinematographic auteur Uwe Boll. Yeah, there was a Dungeons and Dragons movie. It was called Dungeons and Dragons. And watch it. Go watch it. Just go watch it. Just go watch it. Put on your best Critical Role shirt and go watch that film. Do it. Do it. Do it. Yeah, I haven't seen that one in a long time either. I remember that's when I was like, I was in college and I was just discovering, see that shit like that, man. Where two enemies just like blap, and that's it. That was 2 hits. Almost killed me. I probably should have died. But yeah, when I was in college and really just discovering my love of bad movies, especially when watched communally. And also my GameStop at the time was trading in DVDs, so I had a pretty good supply. Before all your damn streaming and chills. Back in my day, it was check a DVD out from the GameStop I work at. Oh, Rampage? Yeah, I never saw that one. I think that's the one that actually wasn't based on a video game somehow. I'm gonna try coming around this way. Oh, I was doing it again. No looking at chat. No. Ugh. I do need to look into watch parties though. See what trash on Prime. Watch with people. They had like Night Flight on Prime. I wonder if that's watch partyable. That'd be fun. Oh! I really don't want to be close to him because those bouncy grenades can be very dangerous. Where'd you go? Where? Hey! Hey! Oh! Gosh. Is Uwe the only reason why video game movies have such a bad reputation? No, they were bad long before him. Don't, Here's something to consider. A spicy hot take for you. Maybe video game movies are bad because video game stories are bad. And without the ability to run and jump around and shoot things, you are only left with the story and the themes, which are largely pretty adolescent garbage, really. I'm sure I'm not the only person to have said that. The Doom movie's fun. I rank the Doom movie about with like Resident Evil films. Not high cinema, but it's a fun watch. Are you an Avatar: The Last Airbender fan? Ask because I am so mad that the creators left the live action. I guess I can't say that I am, given that I haven't really seen the show. I've watched like the first half of the first season.
Because it takes a lot of hard work to make a prophecy happen.
Does Hardcore Henry count as a video game movie? It's probably the closest to like an actual video game interpretation of a film. Oh, Gamer starring Gerard Butler. I remember that movie being really boring somehow. Which is weird. Like, that was the Neveldines, right? They usually do pretty wild and unhinged action films. Like, Crank kind of understands video games more than Gamer did. Which is really weird. I think they just wanted to do some heady science fiction or something. I don't know what. I don't know what the goal of Gamer was. Detective Pikachu? I mean, I think Edge of Tomorrow might be the most video gamey movie that's not actually about a video game. I thought Tomb Raider is a fun movie. Mortal Kombat's really fun. I think the best you can hope for with a game sometimes is to just be fun. Because then at least spiritually you are capturing where the game was, as opposed to 90 minutes of plot beats that don't really add up.
She is inside that demonic citadel.
Oh, Sonic was fun.
Location
Yeah.
of your HUD.
Warcraft is alright. Well, so, Captain Detective Pikachu is not literally a video game movie because there is no video game of Detective Pikachu. I mean, there are, aren't there? But they don't follow the story of the movie.
The gathering of Hell Priests is located just above your location. My scans indicate there is a lift at the center of
So
this
it's interesting. Scott Pilgrim is like... Scott Pilgrim's weird. It wraps in a bunch of video game references, but I don't think in any way it's a video game movie. Because it's about self-actualization, and no video game is about that. If Scott Pilgrim were actually about, like, trying to date Ramona and doing it at the end of the film, like, winning her as a trophy, then it would be more of a video game movie. But bizarrely, it kind of undoes its own tropes by actually being about something substantial.
The Con Maker is present at this gathering.
Oh, Assassin's Fist? That was the one... Let me think. That one was okay. That one was alright. I do remember watching that. Oh, like, didn't Ono have like a
Redesign of your equipment
cameo in
launcher.
that?
The flame belch is now
Yeah,
ready for
Scott
your-
Pilgrim was originally a Western manga. I bought the books as they came out. I remember getting to the end and being like, wow, you went full Kingdom Hearts. I kind of felt like... There's something interesting that happens when, like, somebody's creation gets way bigger than they thought it would. Then they feel like it has to have, like, ultimate cosmic importance or be, like, an ultimate head trip. Yeah, I feel like the Scott Pilgrim manga just sort of went off the deep end because it felt like it had to be more than what it was by the end of it. The movie tied it way better. Tied it up way better. I always go back to my point of games are some of their parts, their technical aspects, their limitations, their visuals, like movies. Books should stand by their narratives. I'd argue I would never be expecting a game's narrative to stand alone, as the other components of a game are what make it as it is. Same with the movie script. 100%. Yeah. For sure. Which is what makes adaptation so difficult. How do you replicate interactivity? Yeah, there was a Far Cry movie. That was an Uwe Boll special. Starring Till Schweiger as Jonathan Q. Far Cry. I can't remember his actual name, but... And then, like, oh, Brian Lee O'Malley would agree with you? Oh, did he say that? They started the screenplay for Scott Pilgrim movie as Volume 3 was being published. Really? Those things were like 7 years apart. I guess that's possible. Oh. Did you watch the alternate ending? No. That's Scott choosing to stay with knives instead. That's weird. Director commentary said it was actually the intended ending, but young test audiences disliked it. Huh. Weird. I feel like at the end of that movie, Scott understands that he needs to be alone for a while, which is kind of I would think the like better ending. Yeah, Knives was 17. Tron might be the only gaming adjacent movie. Yeah. Well, there's been more that have gaming in them. There's like Last Starfighter. There are certainly pixels. There are games that try to I've tried to capture that wave, I think. Joysticks. A real trashy movie. Ender's Game, yeah. Oh, War Games, The Wizard, yeah. Yep. Isn't Pinball Wizard a song? Yeah. Part of a rock opera from The Who called Tommy, about a man who was blind, deaf, and dumb because when he was a kid, he saw his father murdered. Tommy's a trip. Has very little to do with video games. Yeah, Game of Thrones, there it is. That's the real video game. That album is great. It's got some good tracks. It's got some good tracks. I appreciate the experimentation of it, especially since like I have long explored and struggled to understand musicals as a genre. Although I guess rock opera is not technically musical. About as dorky though. Just about. Saw Tommy the Musical as a kid with my parents. Yeah, no. Tommy's rad. Hey, Steph.
Hi.
How was it?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's fine. A slight headache.
Oh.
I talked to her about it.
Yeah?
She said that it might be because she's messing with so much soft tissue that it just like causes a little bit of a, she also like adjusted a bit of her back too. Feeling loose.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Breezy? Like a little Kermit dance?
I know it's almost Friday. That would be
Almost.
Technically, it is Friday since I don't have to work tomorrow.
Yeah?
Did you want another cocktail? Since I've just gotten home.
Yes, please.
Which one would you like?
The sangria was really good. Could you make it just like a teensy bit stronger?
Sure. We can do that.
Delightful.
All right.
And by teensy, maybe I mean a lot bit stronger. Although I'm sure that would throw off the flavor of it, but I don't care.
I will do that.
Thank you. Yeah, Dutchy, you gotta finish 2016, man. Yeah, Steph is the best. Steph is amazing. Steph is beautiful and perfect. We trade off though. I'm the beneficiary of Steph's efforts today. But the thing is, like, when I'm not streaming, that's when I do all the things for her. So kind of hard for me to perform acts of service while I'm beasting on the internet. Yeah. But yes. These hands were made for scratching. And doing dishes and cooking. And cleaning. Huh? No, you do. I don't want to in any way imply that I do the majority of those things. Ooh. Maybe I'll get lucky and the capture hardware won't mess up. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to effectively monetize Steph. And really just put the screws to you guys. Just really start squeezing you for money. It doesn't quite work that way. Wait, I'm playing Super Gore Nest and was just attacked by the empowered cacodemon that killed you, so you've been avenged. Wait, you killed it? Okay, I'm glad to hear that. I think I'll put up like a sub goal. So, here's, I guess, the idea, Steph, is that if they meet the sub goal, then they represent the representational amount of money for that I will then spend on something for you. Does that make sense? So wait, what do you want? Because I have to convert that into subs. Oh, you want the chunkity ice machine? That's a lot of subs, Steph. That's a lot. That might be too many. For like one day. Okay, well, hold on. Let me pull this up here. Let me see if it's got to be in my history, right? So, dang it, it's not in my... Do you remember the name of it? Wait. Yeah, there it is. Countertop nugget ice maker. Okay. So this is what Stephanie wants. This is Stephanie's desire is to have a ice maker that makes the little nuggety ice, so you can like crunch on it. Yeah, it's like Sonic drive-in ice basically.
Oh, the best ice, crunchy ice, crunch, crunch, crunch.
But it's $550, and we already have an ice maker.
But it doesn't make crunchy ice.
It doesn't make crunchy ice. No, it makes yeah, that ice feels so good, right? It's so good.
Plebeian ice.
Yeah.
Ice for plebes, like us. Sad.
So,
Ice.
hold on a minute. Here's what I'll do. Here's what I will do.
Let's be real. This ice maker will also be used by you if you do themed cocktails for your stream.
You're right. You're right. I will benefit from this ice. You're completely right about that. I am not an island. You are not an Iceland. That's a place.
It's a lot stronger.
Hell yeah. Thank you. Baby, even stronger with nugget ice. Well, it's got a little sprig. Hold on. I gotta
like a
hold.
shot and a half of tequila in it.
That's a good amount. Look at that. Look at that wonderful, refreshing drink. Thank you, Steph.
You're welcome. You try it?
No, hold on. Still really clean.
Yeah,
If it doesn't make me
didn't
like...
put syrup in it. I only put the watermelon juice.
No, I like it. I like it that way.
Yeah, as I told you that agua fresca, the first drink,
Mm-hmm.
was a bit on the sweet side. I almost would have cut it. I bet you'd probably be better if it was with sparkling water, which is actually, I think, what I'm gonna make myself a watermelon sparkling soda.
Ooh. Sorry, that sub sound probably doubled up because I have my editor open. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Won't inquire. You guys are doing it too early. I'll add him in. I'll add him in. It'll be okay. I'll do that. 1 second. So there were two just now. Brian Howie and Buck Futter. Thank you guys for the subs. Commander Moose, thank you for the prime. Informal Variant, thank you for the prime. Orphan Masher, thanks for the prime. Sorry, I was behind a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna say that since we started discussing this, let's say the last 3 subs counted. So I'm gonna save that there. Turn this on. Hold on a minute. Doesn't seem to have taken. Why isn't it going back? Okay, well you're not. What? I swear I learned how to do. I thought I knew how to do this. Why isn't it doing it? Ah, there we go. Never mind. All right. I was hitting the wrong thing. There we go. All right. Let the wild monetization of Stephanie begin.
Nobody has to do this. I don't want to make people feel bad or think that like we're. I mean, it is a ridiculous purchase, and I understand that, but now I feel guilty.
You're not allowed to do both. You can't ask for exorbitant things and then feel guilty about getting them.
Well, but I mean, I promised to make many drinks to get Lawrence drunk for gameplays.
Everybody wins, I guess. Powerfinger, thanks for gifting 5. Sober, thank you for gifting 5. Yeah, I think it's happening with or without your support. Also, remember when you were explicitly saying that you wanted more COD cams so that people would buy you things? Remember when you said that in literal words? Yeah. That's why we look where we're going. Alright. Mr. Diminutive, thank you for gifting 5 subs. Neon Phil, thanks for gifting. Uncle Con, thank you guys for, oh my god, thank you for being so welcoming to Stephanie and my desire for crunch ice. Jesus Christ. Mike Hype Train, thanks for the 5. Undeadpool, thank you for the 5. Steph, it's happening. They want us to have crunchy ice, clearly. And I agree, Stephanie does deserve the best ice. I think the bigger problem is maybe people aren't aware at how many different kinds of ice you want in general. Because Stephanie also wants cocktail ice, which is the sphere ice.
Ladies, be careful out there.
Like, come everyone, come in the kitchen and look at my spear ice. Maybe it'll be like also,
Samsung Smart Fridge.
Lawrence, I'm not the refrigerator. Come to the refrigerator. I'm trapped.
Yeah, from her and her 3DS.
Her 3DS taken away and she's taken from the fridge. I just want to be able to, I just have a feeling like one day you're going to say, Stephanie, you can't do this anymore. And I'm just going to tweet from the fridge.
And take your phone away. Stephanie's tweeting too much about ice. Yeah, Doctor, the helping kids is silly. Getting crunchy ice is much more important. I got a lot to catch up on here. Holy crap. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay, so hold on. Alright, Balzac Gone Wild. Thank you for gifting a sub. Holy Bones, thanks for the resub. Invalid Syntax, thanks for gifting 5. Wanchez, thanks for gifting 5 subs. Thank you guys a lot. Thanks for the cheers, Dr. Sinwar. Spirit Grip, Real Big Hot Dog. Appreciate the change. Haley Dudette, thanks for gifting out 5 subs. A. Jackson Doctor, thanks again for the cheers. Nitro, thanks for gifting out 15. Wait, no, 5. And then Nutbuster with the 10. God, you guys are going ridiculous. Who knew getting new subs is as easy as adding a progress bar? Yeah, it's something that I've noticed is a lot of streamers do it and just have it up all the time. I try to use it sparingly because it is a little scary, honestly, to me, to like say give me money and then have it happen. I don't know why that makes me weirdly uncomfortable, but it's something I definitely try not to do too often. Solo, we're getting there. Opjopper, thanks for gifting out 5 subs. Slenders, thanks for the gift. RJ He and R. Kelly Fell. That name just made sense to me. Thank you guys for gifting 2 and 1 subs respectively. All right. I got all my thank yous done. Oh, the top dono thing. Yeah, it's Brandon, thank you for the cheer. I'll do what little I can. Thank you for contributing to Chonkity Ice. I mean, let me make a couple of disclaimers now, for my own soul, as much as for your guys' peace of mind. Asha Million, thank you for the Prime. I do well enough on Twitch, you know, to the point that I don't feel like I need to ask or make monetization a part of the experience. Aside from, you know, I'll always thank people for giving me money. That empowers everything I'm allowed to do as a human. So I'm naturally grateful for that at every instance. Like now, we're in the Real Poipers subbing with Prime, thank you. And Slenders, thank you for the cheer. But yeah, by virtue of the fact that people just naturally kind of sub enough that keeps me above water means I don't have to make it part of content. So where the money is right now, it's like if I have more, then I can like build out more business. I can pay more editors. I can get more YouTube videos going. I can buy stupid props for streams, and I can contribute to philanthropy, which is something that I have been doing a lot. I'm trying to keep it around 10% of all of my revenue for the year going to charitable causes. I'm a little ahead of that already, but probably want to get more like 15-20 by the time the year ends. But yeah, this is a goof moment, and I just want to be... I try to be very careful about not blurring those lines because I feel an element of responsibility in navigating the parasocial aspect of Twitch. And what I never want to do is either directly or indirectly manipulate that dynamic to make money. There will be an element of manipulation to it by default. Jesus Christ, Sober Librarian. Thank you for 25 subs. Glitchy Pit, thank you for the resub. Wanchez, thanks for the 5. Sober Librarian, thank you for that massive sub bomb. Well, that's it then. Cocktails are going to be very fancy.
Now is bigger than you can imagine.
Yeah, are you sure you're sober?
It is their
That's transparency. So that's where my head's at.
You continue.
Dank Nugs and Blonde, thanks for the 420s each. And I will I'll go activate COD Cam shortly.
No longer your people to save.
Looks like oh, Steph? Can you do me a favor and reboot your Xbox? Actually, wait, maybe that's not necessary. No, Brian, that's totally fine. If I appreciate the show of support because this does mean that I will buy an ice maker. Actually, here, let me just do it right now. I'll just do it right now. Don't tell Stephanie. I'm doing it off screen because I don't know if like any information will get shown during this process, but I'll try my best to show the receipt. Oh man, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I'm gonna click it. It feels weird. Okay. Oh, let's not get the address in there. That would be a good call. Okay, I don't think there's anything compromising in this. Okay, not what... Okay. I don't know why, hold on a minute. I'm pretty sure nothing got shown there. Thanks, Magnifier, and not MS Paint for showing up. Thanks for that. Thanks, Cortana. Nah, I think we're good. Yeah, there wasn't really anything there. Okay, it was just shipping date. I love how Windows has like... Windows search is good, but it changes the results. I think algorithms, it tries to guess what you actually want. Oh, RJ, thank you for the... Hold on a minute. Come on. Thank you for gifting. So, let's see here. Yeah, you guys have already doubled. Jesus Christ. All right, well, that's that then. Let me go set up COD Cam. I don't want to go too nuts saving it because that'll reset all the sub alerts and you guys have banked up so many of them. Yeah, Windows search sometimes also just doesn't work. That's cool. Or when it tries to shove you towards a Bing search result instead of the thing that you know is in your computer that it refuses to find. Okay. This is the one, yeah, with, I think it's like 2 Hell Knights and a Cacodemon. I need ammo. Or maybe not. Is this game of the year for you at this point? I think so. That feels a little weird to say because it's like it's too on the nose. But yeah, this game is really, really good. I'm trying to figure out the best comparison of what Twitch streaming is. The best I can think of is a music lounge owner. You give people a social space with an entertainment conversation. It's just instead of music, you have video games. I don't know if that makes you feel less awkward about people giving you money, but I hope it does. So that works. That makes the money aspect a little more normal. I think that's a proper comparison. That when you go into a Twitch stream, it's the modern future version. It's the cyber version of going to a venue, a hangout space. You know, like a bar or like a lounge, like you said, where you go to just like hang out with people, and it's collected around a theme. Whether in a sports bar, that'd be sports. There are nerd bars showing up that have like esports going on. Similar vibe there. But yeah, you're right. Each channel is sort of a curated, sort of different flavor, but it is a communal meeting space, and that's why it exists. And then my role is to just kind of be host. What makes it weird, and what I think makes the parasocial aspect so strange, is that the money is optional, meaning that is this you going over to somebody's house, or is it you going to a bar? Is it a place with a cover charge? Not really, unless it's a sub-only stream, and people react pretty negatively to that. So I think what makes it different is some people view it as going to an establishment. This is a place that I go because it invokes a certain feeling in me, and that feeling is derived from the curation of the streamer and the other people in chat and the interactions and stuff like that. The other thing that makes it a little strange, I think, is feeling like you're going over to somebody's house. You'd never expect the person who's hosting you to ask you for money. I think it's polite to offer that, but really it's like you bring over food or you bring over drinks, because introducing money into it makes the dynamic a little strange. Especially if it's a house, the person hosting it depends on people coming over and giving them money to pay the rent. So I do think that there are ways to view it where it's totally normal and ways to view it where it's not totally normal. And the fact that it's in that gray area between the two, I think is what makes that dynamic something that I'm pretty I want to tread very lightly on. Especially since, my upbringing is extremely frugal. And I myself am a pretty frugal person. Yeah, Just Cream. That's Creme. That's where I am. Of like, it's okay to ask for contribution, to not expect it. Or for me, it's mostly like putting the tip jar out. It's almost like a passive ask, of like, hey, there it is. It'd be nice, but not required. That's, I think, where everybody would like to be, and I'm privileged to be in that position. But it's because people put stuff in the jar. Yeah, Frugal owns a 2080 Ti. Flav, that 2080 Ti sat in my cart for an entire week on Newegg before I hit purchase, and even then I had to hype myself up to do it. Yeah, more like the piano player at the bar or the bartender. Like you can slide a tip, but drinks are $4 or whatever. Can we buy you more candles? Yes, you can. In fact, somebody already did. I got this one from somebody, which is really cool. It's a Woodwick candle. Oh, well, the cork's in it, but I'm actually really excited to light this up. You can see it's got like a little slat of wood in there. But ooh, it's peppermint. It's strong. I gotta get through my Red Dead 2. It's getting a little malformed. I like it. Why are Hostess clubs huge in Japan and not in America? I have my theories. Actually, hold on. Let me take the bar off since the sub alerts are done playing. Thank you guys so much, by the way. For me, dumping subs and cheers is like bringing the potluck meal or the snacks for the couch during the game. Yeah. It's I think the dynamics are pretty parallel and pretty innocuous, but that's kind of why
will enable you to utilize the full functions of your command station.
That's why I'm grateful that the dynamic is where it is right now, and also kind of protective of keeping it there, because I feel like it would make the party dynamic weird to extend the metaphor As if in the middle of the party I go around and be like, all right, everybody, now it's time to give me some money or something like that. I mean, that happens, right? That happens at house parties sometimes when, like, people don't contribute enough or drink too much booze and somebody has to go buy some stuff and everybody's drunk and nobody wants to hear that, like, you have to pony up some more money. It also, you know, just makes some people really sour, kind of makes the mood a little different. I guess I would never want anyone to think that the dynamic and the reason for doing this is anything other than sharing games and sharing conversation. Also, yeah, we got that crotchety ice. Whoa! Dude! Well, at least I didn't die there. I still got the rune. That's the speedrunner casual attempts. Casual attempts. I am not good enough to speedrun Doom. I have not beaten Ultra Nightmare yet. So until I do that, all runs are casual. I'm just merely trying to survive. A sober librarian? I'm getting into it again, thank you. I do appreciate that. There's some streamers who basically lock the door and say no party until you pay me right now and do it about 3 times throughout the party. Yeah, that's a little aggressive. I guess... I promise this is not pointed at anyone. But, nah, I don't wanna... What's the furthest you've gotten in Ultra Nightmare? Stage 5. And I am on stage 2 right now. Nobody's obligated to give money here. You've been pretty clear about it, I think. You exude enough of a soul to not go calling like a debt collector. Yeah, that's true. I hope. I hope. Though the weird thing is trying to convince people to not feel guilty about it. Which is weird. People are so primed to, I guess, word choice intended, to feel like they should or need to. Oh, Jay, when the streamer doesn't seem to have given it any thought.
There is a Sentinel power core nearby. You can use it to activate the mech.
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess that is same with YouTube. Is like when somebody doesn't consider that the way they act, like that their actions and their personality are getting warped, or they're merely doing what works. It does skeeze me out a little bit when I see people just kind of going through the, like, stimulus response tree of when I do this, people like me more. When I do this, people view me more. When I do this, people sub more, and then they just do that thing. I feel like that kind of thing can take root in your motivations and your psyche, unless you're kind of watching it, kind of being cognizant of it. But I overthink everything. It's my brain, man. So the only times, and I think a lot of people would probably empathize with this, the only times I'm not overthinking things is when I'm drunk or high, or both. That makes it much easier to just live in the moment, and it's an intoxicating feeling. Pun intended, I guess. Yeah, it's wild how quickly people can change when they're getting positive feedback. For sure. Mood, right? How would you explain ray tracing? I've actually done this a number of times. Ray tracing is quite simply a more physically accurate way to render lighting in games. What we do right now is we cheat. We cheat a lot. So lighting right now is like there's a big red thing out there, and as I turn, it gets reflected on my gun. And that is kind of done through a bunch of, like, mathematical shortcuts to sort of guess what color things should be when they're around other sources of light. What ray tracing would do is actually simulate light rays bouncing off the gun and flying off into space and hitting a light source, and then rolling back and being like, okay, based on the albedo of this particular surface, it should look like this for this single pixel. And then you do that for every pixel in the picture. All the way at the top left, like all the way down, and that's 1 frame. And then you have to do that for every frame. That's why it takes forever. That's why we don't really do it yet, because it's too slow. But it recreates a lot of phenomenons of light that modern rendering engines have had to fake. One of my favorites is ambient occlusion. You've probably seen it a lot in settings menus, but there's this interesting thing light does in any space where when 2 pieces of geometry intersect, light can get like stuck bouncing around in that corner until it dissipates, kind of over radiates out. That's just what energy does. The thing is, when light doesn't hit your eye, it doesn't look illuminated. So in a flat empty room, your eyeballs just kind of naturally pick up that the corners are just a teensy bit darker than the walls, because the light doesn't bounce off of them and hit your eyeballs in the same way. The way that we fake that in games is called ambient occlusion, which is that if there are two like vertices intersecting, we just kind of paint it black. Just put some shadow there. It gets closer to making scenes look more realistic, but ray tracing would actually physically simulate that lighting effect in a way where it's not just a gray stripe slathered across an intersection of 2 geometry spaces. It makes it look a lot more realistic. It's one of those things where it's really hard to describe its effect, but your eyeballs will know immediately. What's up, Unrequested? How you doing? It's like updated God rays. Not really. Sort of. Not really. God rays are non-directional lighting effects. So you can't do math with infinity. You can't divide by it. You can't really calculate any physics based off of it. And that was a problem in video games when it comes to calculating shadows. How do you calculate a shadow from the sun if it's infinity away? So that's what God rays were. God rays were a way to have light come just purely from a direction and not have an origin point. The way that it's like, I think the way that it's most commonly visualized and the way that people visually call it is when they see like shafts of light coming out. And like volumetric lighting is what you're referring to. When light is going through a cloud of surface and it's like partially illuminated. You can ray trace more accurate reflections, shadows, ambient occlusion, colored bounce lighting, colored shadows, game stuff, all in real time versus baked. Exactly, T-Rex. Yes. So the baked part is the other aspect of ray tracing, is that a lot of lighting is faked and pre-made. Sober again with 5 more subs. Man, you're running it up tonight. Thank you. Must be payday. I appreciate that. But yeah, like, you have to kind of tell a game what all the colors are, and then it'll fake the result by just really quick math and like color blending and stuff. Whereas ray tracing, you don't really have to do that so much. It's just like, what color is the light? What color is it bouncing off of? Is it going through or being refracted or anything like that? And those are all... It's like it's linear math. It's not linear algebra. It's linear in terms of complexity, which is that each ray takes a finite amount of time to compute. And as long as you can render fast enough, then you can generate your scenes. Oh, Jacob's playing Destiny 2? Huh? Okay, well I might finish this run then. Okay, he said he'd be on around 7. Oh, he's okay, so it's about time. Let me see if I can get to the end of this level. I'll have to go. Oh, gotta go set up the cam too. That'll be a perfect time. All right, so let me see if I can finish out this level, and then we'll switch on over to the Big D. That's a good way to take that guy down. I like that. I'm gonna need to chainsaw something. Damn it! I gotta go. I didn't want to leave, but... Dude, What the fuck? Shoot! Sometimes, man, it just seems like, why aren't you dying? Huh. I didn't get it. Slayer, that stupid gun, and I don't have enough bullets. Alright. I thought the grenade was gonna do it, but it didn't. There we go. There we go. Where are you? Hey! Hey! Whew. Hey, Casey. Thank you for gifting a sub. Jacob is not the big D. I mean, he is, but Destiny is the big D. Yeah. Ultra Nightmare is a fast-paced puzzle. Pretty much, yep. You got... It's almost like... It's like real-time strategy at a certain level. It's like real-time strategy, and you also have to execute. You can't just tell people to do things. You gotta go do it all, too. I think microwave beam might be feasible ever. If it didn't slow you down, maybe? I just... maybe? I can see it having explicit function in like melting Doom Hunter shields and the shield mans, but like the fact that it locks you in place while you're doing it is a death sentence. Anything that slows you down while you're channeling it. Use the microwave beam? How? When? Anytime it's useful, you're not in danger. Like it's like, since it locks you in place like that. Sorry, theories about hostess clubs. Japan seems way cooler with commodifying emotional things than we do in America. God damn! Thought for sure that one was gonna go in. I'm surprised that didn't kill me. But oh, those mans are still there. That's why I ran into them. They're on a purely cultural level. I think that the United States culture is not okay commodifying emotional things. We have this this notion that if you pay for it, it cheapens it. That's changing a little bit. But yeah, hostess clubs in the UA are strip clubs, basically, which is a kind of a way for us to make ourselves okay with it. I think this is just my gut read. I think that there's also a pretty big undercurrent of like, I hate to put such a played out phrase on it, and I know that a lot of people bristle at this, but I think toxic masculinity has something to do with it. Is that guys largely don't want to acknowledge needing acknowledgement and companionship from women, and they certainly don't think you should pay for it. And I think a level under that, dudes are not comfortable admitting that they need anything from women at all, unless it's sex. And then they're okay with that. But also that's not something you pay for, it's something you get. It's something you earn. So I do think that there are Western notions about men and men's emotional status and men's emotional needs that also culturally prevent them from being okay with getting it like a service, which is stupid. It's so self-defeating. I also think another factor is like it's the power dynamic. If it's one thing to admit like I need this thing and I'm willing to pay for it. It's another to have women make money off of that. There are dudes who, at their core, cannot stand women making money off of perceived weaknesses in men. It seems they would write that off as exploitative. Kind of maybe in the same dynamic of introducing money into a emotional or a friendly relationship as we were previously describing. So that I think there are multiple factors there, some of which I'm more confident about than others. I am not by any stretch I'm not a sociologist. I am not a student of cultural studies. But that's just my read, especially when it comes to things like sex work. Like, it should be a no-brainer, right? Especially if you're a horny guy, you know? But there's just people who are just not comfortable with that dynamic. In Eastern Europe, strip clubs are mostly about hanging out with hostesses. Then they sweet talk you into a dance, so it's almost identical. Yeah, it's the we get it and that's it mentality. No, you're right. I think a bit of it has to do with the old school Japanese cultural sentiment that there's nothing inherently evil with humans feeling feelings. There's nothing to get moralistic about when commodifying sex or affection. Maybe. I think also just between the lines, man, a lot of the stuff about America's society is so, like, junior, I feel like. It's so much, so much of the United States right now reads of, like, an edgy teenager trying to project an image that is just not accurate. Like, trying to project this Superman image when it's really, you're just an awkward teen and you don't understand yourself, so... And the rest of the world has been very understanding about it, I feel like, so far. Men's interpretation of women being comfortable with their sexuality and bodies is a very weenie hut junior, at least in the States. Children stacked in a trench coat. We won world wars. I mean, we were involved in world wars that we were on the winning side of. Yeah. Yeah, crab foam. That's kind of where my head is at. The U.S. is still just a young nation on the world stage. How to explain the term simp to a girl who said it was just a guy being friends with a girl. When I explained what it was, she ignored my statement and doesn't understand how simp is an insult. That's why I don't bother saying anything on Facebook. Well, yeah, I mean, Facebook is just the worst place to try and communicate. I do think, I mean, maybe what she's balking at is that maybe she's had an encounter where, like, a dude was just being normal, and then somebody, like, people screamed simp, and so she doesn't understand. Tallest boy. Can we all agree normalizing obesity is one of the least healthy things? No, we can't, because people don't always have control over that. And forcing shame on people because of their body image implies an awful lot about the state of their life. That maybe you're not understanding aspects of it. As somebody who has been overweight for a lot of my life, I feel very strongly about it and will always espouse for healthy living. I'm not so much a fan of the, like... Yeah, I won't get into it, but... I would say in those moments, try and embrace that not everybody has the same deck to work with when it comes to physical fitness. There's issues with medication, there's issues with injury. What even started the simp popularity? It's just like cuck. It's a way to push... It's a way for very fragile dudes to push their notions of male and female relationships on other people. To basically turn... It's a way for dudes who are insecure with their sexuality to mock others for perceiving subjugation to it. Incel language, basically. And I'm saying this about myself. I'll be real honest. I as a young man, felt a strong desire for intimacy, physical and emotional. And I was also not a Kitsune. Let's just put that subject down for a while. Oh no. I would strongly encourage to not pursue that particular discussion. Mostly because I don't know that I have the energy to moderate it right now. But I feel closer to the or I feel a little bit more adjacency to the simp shit. As a young man, I needed emotional and physical intimacy, and I wasn't getting it. That made me resentful. A healthy person would say, like, okay, what is... The most healthy thing to do would have been to back off and, like, examine myself and really appraise myself of my worthiness as a partner, and maybe be honest with myself about the personality traits that made me not so desirable to be around. Instead, what I did was mentally attack my own perceived weakness, to deny those impulses. I felt like I could,
There are motion sensors and artillery.
in a very Vulcan sort of way, suppress those feelings and thus deny them power over me. Is kind of the big thing. Is not feeling like you're subject to impulses and emotions. To be above that. Facts and logic, always.
Ought to leave me here.
I think the external visitation of that is when you mock others for perceiving their subjugation to physical or emotional intimacy. The more you point at somebody else and make fun of them for doing it, the more absolved you must be of it yourself. So that's where my head goes to, and that's my read on the continued, like, the evolution. We see this process happen multiple times.
To defy the Con Maker herself. It is your people's time now to give penance.
It's so weird to me.
It was mine.
I mean, it's shades of white knighting. I will say, like, dudes also will overperform the actions that they think make them attractive. So they'll be feminists. They'll, in the way that, like, Twitch streamers or YouTubers will lean into behaviors that produce positive outcomes. Guys try to follow a flowchart when they're younger. This is what pickup artistry is all about. But if they try to do it the right way, air quotes right way, then sometimes that can just lead to being a cardboard cutout of the right things. You don't actually believe them. You're just saying them because they think they'll get you what you want, which is intimacy. And I think that's where, the nice guys. That's where kind of simping comes from. Is like, okay, you're just doing these behaviors because you think it will result in intimacy, but you're not actually being yourself. You're just playing a character that you think is what people want to see. So I think it is a behavior pattern, but I do think that the fact that it's given a pejorative name that is then thrown around by a bunch of dudes who are oh so excited that they have a word for it now, I think says more about them than it does about the dynamic in the first place.
I will mark its location on your HUD.
So anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That's the only reason that I kind of get into those topics is because it is a way for me to sort of process my own, like, past. And I want to be really clear about that. I never want to make it sound like I guess I do tend to talk in terminology where it sounds like I'm talking about other people in large, but really it's just because I see so much of I see so much of the behavior patterns I went through reflected in different people as time goes by. Specifically when it comes to being angry and being a nerd and being on the internet. No, you don't. I was like, I'm starting to get that sense. I'm starting to get that doom sense where, like, if I stay looking in one direction for too long and a demon hasn't clawed me in the back of the head, I'm like, something's wrong. Fuck. God damn it. Ah, there's so many. up there. Shit. Where are you, Kako? Wow, I got him. Okay. Shit. That one fucking imp jumped in the way. I don't have any more dash. Okay. I really want to shoot the... Shit. Nope. Nope. Dude. Shit. 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 Still haven't hit the... Okay, should be fine. So you check chat. Did I? Did I? I don't even, I didn't even notice. I got through it though. I took some bops, but I got through it. Oh, I didn't do the second one. Oops. I think it has to be the, yeah, it has to be the gate. This is already, I think the second one's too far. Yeah, because that's where I need to be. Okay. Are we PBing tonight? Unlikely, because I'm about to switch over and play some Destiny with Jacob. In the low before you kill the cockademon? Yeah. Sorry. Thank you for keeping me honest. Favorite Blink-182 song? There's so much Blink-182 I haven't heard. But I think... it's probably What's My Age Again. That was the music video that was like the parody of a bunch of other music videos, right? I remember that was one of the only, that was one of the music videos I remember watching a lot because I had it downloaded on my computer. But I need to listen to more of their discography. Well, not that I want to be here, but I can't help thinking your PP would be way up there if you attempted this off camera. Yeah, maybe, if I didn't have anything else to think about. Wait, I did this one. It was the one back in Exulti I didn't do. Oops. Oh, Steph's doing it. All right. Do you like the new Glass Animals album? I actually just finished listening to that this morning. I do like it. I liked it quite a bit. Wait, where's the? I think it's that. I don't quite know what to make of it. It's very, it's a little out there. I mean, it is, Glass Animals typically is. I enjoyed it, though. It wasn't quite as, like, it's definitely not poppy or, like, boppable, but it's very good. A lot of good sounds on that album. Come on over here. Melon Shitadella? Who's Melon? I don't know. I also don't have super fiery tastes about music. I definitely have mellowed out to the point where I'm like, I like what I like. If you got something you like, that's great. And I want you to like what you like as much as you like it. So if this melon gentleman, whoever he may be, if he didn't like it, that's okay. I support his not liking it. Okay, I'm going to get me a piece of Jacob. I will also turn on COD Cam, so we can have Destiny and COD together at last. All right, I'll see you guys in just a second. IDKFA. Hey. That's a cheat. I must have gotten some new icons and what have you. That's cute. Oh, it's like the Doom 2 stuff? Why does everything have a... go with that for now. Huh. I guess they all black and white skins. That's kind of cool. Oh, I got a new thing. Ooh! I like that. Alright. Gosh. They're just really leaning into it now, huh? This is a nice way to do content packs, I think. You know? It's got placement in the game that makes it feel new, like the menu, you know, in gun skins, it's something you're staring at all the time. Okay, break time. How good is that menu music? It's so good. Do I stay here and Destiny with Jacob will start? Yes. Yes. Mid 6. There we go. Yeah, all you have to do is hang out. I'm going to cut to my BRB reel, which is just a ton of random clips. I find it pretty entertaining. Hopefully you do too. It's good to keep it going. But I'll be back in, I want to say 5 to 10 minutes. Just get up, stretch the old legs a bit. Setting up COD Cam can sometimes take a while, depending on how much Elgato wants to play nice today. And I'll be back shortly. So yeah, Destiny 2 with Jacob coming right up. See you soon. No Shickhead today. For a while, actually. We'll see. See you soon.